Welcome back to Conversation with Carroll. This is Nolan Carroll, and I have more of a declaration. And I started this last season, and it was one of those things where I really liked it because it became informative. It became things that people actually needed, and it was some of the stuff that I was teaching my football guys. And when I was also going to speaking engagements, I started finding out a lot of information from football is very applicable to life. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is failing perfection. And you're probably asking me, how do you fail perfection? That's an oxymoron, because perfect means no flaws. But what I'm really talking about is aiming for perfection and knowing that that's the goal, that's the point. But obviously you're not going to reach that prize because nobody's perfect except God. But one of the things that I want to talk about and put in relation to is this. When I was playing football, I would play defensive back, and we tried to make every single rep as perfect as we could get it to make sure that when the situation arose in the game, our skills and our fundamentals that we had been practicing every single week would apply to a game situation and it'd be natural for us. And the more we trained it, the more we strived to get it perfect. When the game day came, when we were playing a more superior opponent, some guy that was either an all-pro, pro bowler, soon to be Hall of Famer at receiver, quarterback, whoever it might be, if we put ourselves in those situations time and time again to strive for perfection but fail, we could always tweak what we were doing to make it better the next rep and then the next rep or the next week or the next game, so on and so forth. And a lot of times what hinders a lot of people to prevent them from really being great, to really achieve the success that they really want to, is they are scared of failing. They fear the judgment of other people. They fear the judgment of staying in that cycle after they've made a mistake, when in actuality, the thing that you really have to concentrate on is the lessons in the failures and embrace those failures. Everybody says, well, most people do say this, fail fast. And when you fail fast and fail often, you're able to get yourself to that point where it is close to perfect as possible, but you've had to put yourself through the fire time and time again to learn that. And it's one of those things where you just have to be relentless and understand that every single time that you're striving for higher, the aim is always going to move. No matter what it is, it's always going to be unattainable. Obviously, perfection is something that we will never, ever reach. And the grasp will always be just in reach, but still be far enough away where we have to continually pursue it. And you have to have this relentless mindset to aim for that, because you never know what you're really capable of until you test yourself. And part of failing is a test. I've never seen or met anybody that has passed every single test that they've come across, whether that's in school or that's in life, business, football, etc. Because nobody is perfect, like I said, and you're always constantly having to test yourself. And the challenges get bigger, they get brighter, they get more testing. There's going to be some challenge that you're never ever going to be prepared for, and you have to learn how to prepare for it. And you have to train your mind, you have to train your body to get to a certain point, to pass that test, to then get to the next level and reach that perfection. But my advice to many young people, many people starting out in business, even athletes alike, don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared to go out there. Don't be scared to take risks and then learn from them. A lot of things that we do in life, when we don't learn those lessons, we always repeat them. And when you continually repeat them, you stay in that cycle of always having that same challenge. But if you're never seeing what that lesson is from what you have messed up on, and understanding that this is my first go around, I'm still learning how to do this. Let me see what it was that made me fail. What were the things that I can learn to make myself better? And then the next time it comes back around, you'll have more of a calmness about you to understand what the situation is at hand. And then those skill sets that you've learned from the first time that you failed, or the second or the 52nd time that you failed, you can apply that to the next time. I guarantee you the outcome will be a little bit better than what you thought. So always just think to aim high. Always think to make it almost unreachable, and understanding that there are goals that you have to amount to be able to climb that ladder of success. And Kobe Bryant has said it many times. He's like, nobody's ever climbed Mount Everest in one day. It always takes steps. And every single time you got to take a few steps, you got to take a break. You have to take a few steps, go back down, then you got to come back up and elevate again. And that's the same thing with what I'm talking about. You always just have to strive for that perfection. Always keep that mindset to know that I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, nobody in the world is ever perfect. Yeah, on Instagram, everybody shows his perfect life, everybody shows perfect this and that, but at the end of the day, it honestly comes down to, what are you doing day in and day out? What skill sets are you using to help yourself get better, and then how are you applying them? And then how are you finding the weaknesses in those skill sets to make them your strengths and continue to elevate? So like I said, this is a declaration about failing perfection. I know it's kind of weird, but at the same time, you have to get inside your mind that you want to aim higher. You want to be more successful. You want to have whatever it is that you might want to have, but you have to understand you have to fail at it. And you can't just go at it thinking that in the first day you're going to be a master of your craft, because nobody ever is a master in their craft. If you look at so many successful people, they got to take years before they actually called the professional in their field or the guru or the master. I guarantee you, if you ask them, they'll tell you the same thing. I had to fail many times before I could become this overnight success. My advice to you is just to fail fast, fail often, and embrace the failures, learn from them, apply. And I guarantee you'll see yourself successful 5, 10, 15 years down the road, and you'll understand that those steps that you took to fail are the reason why you're successful today. So that's my declaration. This is Nolan Carroll signing off. It's another episode of Conversation with Carroll. I'm out.